The message no one will show you. You've seen the headlines, you've seen the claims, but have you actually seen the text message everyone's fighting about? Neither have we. Two men say Katie wrote it the day after Nolan Wells disappeared. Two men say it changes everything. Neither one has produced it. Not to police, not to reporters. Not to you. Here's promise number 1. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's documented about that message and what's just been repeated until it sounded true. Here's promise number 2. You'll hear directly from the one friend who agreed to go on camera, and you'll decide for yourself if his account holds up. Katie is 19 years old. She was with Nolan on Horn Island. She has never given a single public interview. Not one statement, not one word. And yet her name is everywhere. Her alleged message is everywhere. People are arguing in comment sections over sentences nobody can confirm she actually wrote. If you want the version of this case built on records instead of rumors, hit subscribe right now, because what we found next will surprise you. A body washes up 2 days after a boating trip. An undetermined cause of death. A family waiting weeks for answers about their own son. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, a text message that 2 grown men claim to have read, and 0 people have actually seen. So what does the record actually say? Let's start with what's real. Let's start with what's actually on the record, not what's been repeated. What's actually documented? Here's promise 1, delivered. The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources released the real dispatch recording, not the edited version circulating online, the authenticated one. On it, you hear the initial distress call, a bilge pump failing, water rising near the batteries. A boat in real trouble, miles off Horn Island. That part is documented. That part is real. Now here's what else is documented. A friend who was on one of the boats gave a full sit-down interview. He described the timeline in detail. The pump stopped working. Water crept toward the batteries. The situation became an emergency fast. He says the group told Nolan to get on the rescue boat. He says Nolan chose to stay behind with Katie instead. Sit with that for a second. In the middle of an actual sinking boat emergency, a teenager makes a split-second decision that becomes the last confirmed choice of his life. That's his account. We'll test it soon. Here's something else worth knowing. This wasn't a quiet, empty island. July 4th on Horn Island draws thousands of people. Boats stacked 2, 3, 4 rows deep along the shore. That detail matters. It complicates any story about 4 boys alone, with no witnesses nearby. But here's what's still missing from the record. No public copy of Katie's message. No finalized public autopsy results. No independent confirmation from Katie herself. 2 autopsies have been performed. The state's results reportedly exist but haven't been released. An independent pathologist conducted a second exam days later. Decomposition complicates everything about a case like this. So you have a real emergency call, a real crowded beach, a real friend's account, and still, an entire missing piece at the center of it. That missing piece is the reason this case refuses to close, and it's the reason we need to ask a harder question next. The documents answer some things. They don't answer the one thing everyone's actually arguing about. The question nobody can answer. Here's promise 2, delivered. The real question isn't what the message says. It's why no one will show it to you. Let's break down exactly what we know and exactly what remains unconfirmed. 5 things. 1. 2 men claim to have personally read Katie's message. 2. Neither has produced a screenshot, a copy, or any physical proof. 3. Katie has never confirmed or denied writing anything. 4. No journalist or investigator has publicly verified its contents. 5. The message's existence has been treated as fact on national television anyway. 5 claims, 0 confirmations. That's not a conspiracy. That's just where this case currently stands. Katie's silence deserves context too. She's 19. She was reportedly the last person with Nolan, and she has chosen not to speak publicly, for reasons we don't actually know. Silence doesn't prove guilt. Silence doesn't prove innocence either. It just leaves a gap other people are racing to fill with their own version of events. Now add the medical uncertainty on top of that. Drowning is what's called a diagnosis of exclusion, one forensic pathologist explained, breaking down how investigators rule out other causes of death first. A fresh body makes that process straightforward. A body recovered days later, and autopsied again days after that, makes it far harder. So, even the physical evidence carries built-in uncertainty. The message might explain everything. It might explain nothing at all. Nobody currently knows, because nobody outside two men has read it. That gap between what's claimed and what's confirmed is exactly where speculation breeds. If that message ever surfaces publicly, what do you think it actually says? Tell us below. Now let's hear from the one person who did agree to talk. So we go to the only person who's agreed to speak on camera. The account that doesn't fully add up one. Friend sat down on camera. He walked the exact path the boats took that day. He described the panic when the bilge pump failed. He described water rising toward the batteries fast. He described the group pleading with Nolan to get in the rescue boat. He also walked the beach to prove the scale of the crowd. Thousands of people. Boats stacked in rows. Multiple friend groups scattered across 11 miles of island. That detail challenges any story painting this as an isolated, unwitnessed encounter. Then he said the one line everyone's been repeating since. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with, he said. And the girl is a witness to that too. That's a direct claim. It names Katie as a witness without naming her outright. Here's the unsettling part. His account has never been independently corroborated. Not by Katie, not by another named witness, not by any released document. An account can be sincere and still be incomplete. A person can believe every word they're saying and still be missing what happened after they left. That's the uncomfortable truth sitting underneath this entire case. If you want us to track every new claim in this case the moment it surfaces, subscribe now. Because what's still unconfirmed might matter more than what's already been said. Does his account hold up to you, or does something still feel unfinished? Drop your take below. One voice has spoken, one voice hasn't. And that silence might matter more than anything said so far. One account, one silence, and a family still waiting. What still hasn't been answered? Strip away the noise, and two questions remain unanswered. Was Nolan Wells conscious when he entered that water? Did he enter it by his own choice? One forensic pathologist reduced this entire case to those exact two questions. Every document sealed in this file exists to answer them. Nolan Wells was 18 years old. His family has waited weeks to read results about their own son's death. Here's everything still missing right now. Katie's message, unshown. The finalized autopsy, unreleased. Katie's own account, unspoken. 3 gaps. One grieving family caught in the middle of all of them. We didn't come here to hand you a verdict today. We came here to show you exactly where the truth actually stands, and where it still doesn't. If Katie ever does speak publicly, what do you think she'll say? Let us know below. If you want to be first to know the moment any of this becomes public record, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. This case isn't closed, not legally, not medically, not for the people who loved Nolan Wells. And until that message, that autopsy, or that silence finally breaks, neither is this story.